Hello people, hola, aloha, ciao, salut, ni hao, namaste, ohayo, yagamashima, здравствуйте, привет, bunda, dzień dobry, sziasztok, hello, xin ciao, yabosio, tere, salam alaikum, sastriakal, marhaban, merhaba, hello people of the world, Middle East, East Europe, which seems to have a big theme here, Southeast Asia, India, and all that continent there. I welcome, and of course, America, and not forgetting the people of the UK. Hello, welcome. My name is Brunel. If you don't know who I am, so Dior, I've got a new foundation, which is the Backstage Face and Body Foundation. It comes in this bottle, nice and simple, no pump. It's just a little squeezy thing there, but you don't even really have to squeeze this. Turn it upside down and the foundation comes out. It is a slightly runny foundation, but it's not too runny. It has, I've got the color in number 7.5 warm. It's got, let's have a look, 40 shades. 40 shades. Well done. Hands down. Price is £29, which is not expensive at all. Currently, it is only available at the Dior website, so that's where you would have to purchase it. Price wise, actually, it's not extremely expensive. I was quite surprised. In the bottle, you have, this is it. So it's plastic, no fuss. And then in here you have 50 ml in the bottle. It has a shelf life of 12 months. It doesn't say anything about here whether it's vegan free or vegan or cruelty free or anything like that sort on this part here, but it might well be. I don't know if Dior is. I don't think it is actually a vegan one. So just say here to shake well before you apply it. And these are the claims. It says here, the Dior Backstage Face and Body Foundation is tested and approved by 100% of Dior's professional makeup artists with its fluid texture and second skin finish. This ultra buildable foundation offers custom made intensity. I don't know what custom made, well actually custom made intensity would have to be the level at which you apply it on your skin yourself, I presume. So whether you want to, layers and layers, or whether you want something super light. It says here, the Dior Backstage Face and Body Foundation is the Dior Makeup's artist's secret weapon to create an instantly flawless complexion with ultra buildable coverage, from a natural nude glow to high coverage perfection. Perfection. Ah bon, voila. Never mind, that's just being silly there. Okay, so not massive claims, but they've got neutral tones, warm toned. I'm trying to think which other tones that they have got here. They've got, I think, 6 different tones anyway, at 40 shades. There should be something there for you. So testing it out on a very, and I mean very, extremely oily skin. How does this hold up? Will it last? Will it not last? Or is it a kind of, for us oily, extremely oily people, is it best to just leave it alone or not? Let's find out. Okay, so it comes in this container or packaging, silver Dior Backstage Face and Body Foundation. I tend to not use foundation anywhere else, so you've got it. So I'm just checking on the monitor to make sure it's in focus. Sorry about that. So there's the bottle. Now this is color number 7.5W. This is not my shade. As soon as I opened it, literally I haven't used it at all. I could see now. This is. I'll just. You'll be able to see. It's a runny consistency. Yeah, it's not quite right. So it's moving, and you can use your fingers according to them, but I don't do that. For a thin layer, you can use your fingers, or you can double it, do 2 coats, or you use a brush. I'm going to use a brush rather than my usual beauty blender, and not beauty blender, a makeup sponge. So we'll take it from there. But clearly this is the wrong color, but I'll have to make it work. The colors are a bit, ooh, that is definitely not right. Ooh, it's got like a smell to it, but it's not overpowering. It's really simple. It's right. this is more like a light coverage. So I'm just stippling it into the skin first of all, and then I'm going to buff it in. But no, this is definitely not my shade. Even though I've got red in my undertone, this is a little bit too red. And W for warm, of course. But by the way, sorry, it is now 14:28. That's the time. I'm going to try and keep it on for between 7 and 8 hours. Got to go up, be quick. The shop shuts at 4 o'clock. And yeah, so it actually takes probably about a minute or two for it to start drying and mattifying. So you have to be fairly quick. So just going to apply that all over and then buff it in. Alright, the foundation is on. As you can see, there is a difference. Generally speaking, actually, as a match itself, it's not too bad if you were to just leave the face alone. But my face tends to be darker than my chest area. What I tend to do is try and go for foundation that's around my neck area. I don't do foundations around the neck. I hate it, absolutely hate it. Wear lots and lots of shirts, and I can't be having the mark with the foundation. That's not my thing at all. Hate it. So I tend not to put foundation on my neck, which is why I try and go for color rather than matching my chest. I go for a color that actually matches my neck, so that it looks a bit more seamless that way. This is darker. I don't know whether the camera picks up on it, but believe me, in real life the shade is darker than here. But forget the shade. I'll have to go for another foundation if I like it. So far my feelings are, I've put about 2 layers on, and I'm telling you that it's like there's nothing on my skin. Like there is nothing on my skin whatsoever. Feels super light. My skin feels as if my pores are still open. They've not been clogged up. It is actually really wonderful feeling to put foundation on. Literally, it's only been about 2 or 3 minutes since I put this on, and it doesn't feel as if I've got any foundation on my skin whatsoever. So that is actually brilliant. So what I'm going to do now is finish off the rest of my face, and then show you my face beforehand. Not that you need to see it anyway, whatever. And then I'll go about doing my stuff, and then around the 4 hour mark I'll pop back around between 5 and 6 o'clock. I'll pop back and give you a kind of like an update. The temperature is going to be around 23-24 degrees today, I believe. I'll correct that in the description below, or check below if I am wrong. So it is fairly hot for me to be able to test it as well. Okay, so enough chatting. I'm going to go sort out my face and look beautiful. And there you have it. This is my face all done. So I shall see you all in a few hours for an update. And yeah, so I've done the best that I can to try and match things. I'm still not quite happy with it, but that's just me. It doesn't look too bad. We'll be able to tell just how far off the calories, or if any at all, when it gets later on and I get oily, and that's when you start seeing the true color and everything showing through. At the beginning, when you've done your makeup to perfection or whatever, it does look more decent. It's later on that you can really tell when the oil starts coming through. Then well, I'm expecting the oils to come through, but I might be wrong. So far it feels absolutely light. It feels even better than my Bobbi Brown Weightless foundation. I think it feels even lighter. Having said that, the Bobbi Brown one is a full coverage weightless foundation. This to me is a medium to full coverage where it's buildable. But the building it is just so thin. The layers are so thin. It is beautiful. I absolutely loved it. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Good evening. The time now is 18:35. As you see, 18 at the top, 35 at the bottom. New phone, trying to get used to it. Weird. Right, so far I've had it on for a few hours. My initial thoughts at the moment, and maybe they'll change, but I'm just trying to keep you guys updated. What I feel is that, what I noticed is that within a couple of hours of being out, temperature in the car was about 22.5 degrees. And I did notice that you could see a glow on my face. It wasn't oily, it was more like a glow, so I did not actually mind that at all. But I did see a bit of shine on my face, which normally as an extremely oily person I try and avoid like the plague, but it was actually quite nice, and my skin still felt light. My skin still feels breathable. I don't feel as if the foundation is kind of kind of sticky and feeling horrible at all on my skin. My nose is shiny, but that's a standard. My forehead, this area is shiny. This area here normally gets shiny and therefore emphasizes my skin, and I've got enlarged pores. It is what it is. Maybe one day I'll do something about it. Maybe I won't. But it kind of, you can see it as to shine, but it's not extreme. I am indoors. It's around 22 degrees at the moment, even indoors. I've got a ring light on that is actually shining and giving off a bit more heat as well. But just take into account that I did not do any of the hacks which normally I would when it comes to applying foundations, because I am an extremely oily person. I cannot get away with not doing any hacks and not doing it, putting a primer on. That's never going to work for someone like me. If you are extremely oily, you'll understand what I'm talking about. You can't be doing any of these foundation tests without applying a primer. It's never going to work. So I'm not too sure if I said it earlier, but I used one heck of a one heck of a blot from Soap and Glory. It isn't the most mattifying primer. Personally, I've used it for 5-6 months now, so I know how it works. So it probably will help me an extra 2 hours maybe, or something like that, before the oils break out, pushing it. So that's what I had on my face earlier, and that's it. And I didn't do any of the hacks, powder before foundation, powder in foundation, baking, any of that stuff, nothing at all. Just set my face, wiped it off straight away for the purpose of the video. I've not blotted my face, not once, since I actually did my face earlier. So to see how the foundation works, because obviously in real life I would blot, but for the purpose of this, the video and testing the foundation out, I can't do that, because that's kind of like cheating. I mean, I could blot and then I'll turn up and my face is nice and dry and tell you, ooh, look at that, it's mattified, it's still matte, wow. No, not doing any of that. So that's that anyway. So I will see you guys back and probably around 9:30 thereabouts, I think, or just before 10. I still gotta upload it and edit it and everything for tomorrow, because I'm at work. So I'll probably around 9 it will be more than enough. Good evening. The time now is 10:35. All right, so I come to you with a very oily face. Well, actually, I say very oily. It's not the worst I've ever seen it. I mean, the Kat Von D foundation was a killer for me. That was a long time ago, but I do remember that. And there have been others since then which have been a lot worse. So this is actually, although it is oily, as I pointed out earlier, the problem area is here and here. I'm looking in the monitor there. And they always get oily anyway. But that is the issue, and that's going to always be a problem when you're extremely oily like myself. The oils will break out, but I've had this on now for a good 8 hours, which is usually more often than not the maximum that I keep a foundation on, unless I'm out and I'm stuck out there and I can't do anything else. Right, so enough about that. Now with regards to the foundation and my beliefs in it, what I think of it, I think this is a perfect foundation if you have got normal skin. This is a brilliant foundation because it is super light, it is lightweight. It is true when they turn around and say that it's second skin. It really blends into the skin really nicely if you can get your color match. You can work with it, but the thing is, I think the colors come out a lot darker than you would have actually expected. And for me, it's a bit of a problem because I'm still, maybe that's not, it doesn't show on camera, but in normal daylight, I can actually tell the difference. And of course, once the oils start breaking through, then that difference becomes much more obvious. And you know, at the beginning, when you've just set your face and done it up, you can get away with it. So I need to get a different shade. But that's just a personal thing. But just be mindful that you may actually, the chances are that they are a lot darker than you would expect them to be. The feel of the foundation is lightweight. My skin still feels super, super light. With regards to the oil themselves, as I said, the glow was there for a couple of hours afterwards. However, the oils breaking through were probably about half an hour to an hour after I did my check-in, that's when it started really breaking through, which is not bad because I think that was a good 5 hours or something like that, not far off. So that's not bad at all. It still works. You can make it work for a longer period if you do those hacks. For those of us with super oily skin, it will last longer. Just be mindful that if you're going somewhere long hours and you are extremely oily, I wouldn't necessarily recommend this foundation because you're going to get the oils are breaking through and then you're stuck there. However, if you're going out for a short period of time, 6 hours, 7 hours, this is a beautiful foundation and I do not regret having bought it, except for the fact that it's not the right shade. So I'm really going to have to get rid of it and get a different shade. But that's my own personal opinion. As usual, you are free to disagree or agree, but I hope that you find today's video useful if you are extremely oily, and yeah, don't forget to like, subscribe and comment. I really appreciate it. Now I've got to go and edit it and then make sure that I'll get up for 6 o'clock in the morning for work, and that's going to take like 3 hours probably of editing. Yikes. Don't I feel sorry for me. But thank you very much as usual, and I'll speak to you all very soon. Bye.